Hello, hello there, and we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to the Ryan and Claude Show, episode 20. See, yeah, without much ado, see, guys, I'm back. I'm back, guys. Yeah, it took me time to go to the missus, but you know what? Yeah, I'm back, guys. It won't take me, a lot to just go say I do to the missus, but you know what? Yeah, I got people who have my back down here. Ryan Maguire's back with me. Onome's back with me. Man City fan. See, Ryan, episode 20, Ryan and Claude. What do you have to say, bro? Welcome to the show.
Yeah, it's great to have you back. It's great to be back here again. Yeah, been looking forward to it, and yeah, obviously a big game coming up. But yeah, just great to have you back, man. Hopefully, you had a good time out there and that.
Yeah, sure, man. I had a very very good time. It was lovely spending time with the lady I love. But you know what? Yeah, I'm back to the second lady I do love. That's Arsenal. So so let's see what happens. Yeah, see, yeah, Ryan, you do the honors. Onome, Manchester City fan, introduce this guy right in. Yeah.
He's frozen.
It's a very happy face I've got paused on my screen there.
Yeah.
It must be mine.
Can you hear me? Because I can hear you, Ryan, and I can hear you clearly, Ryan.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Onome. Ryan, can you hear me? Okay, Ryan is gone. Onome, are you there?
Yes, I'm hearing.
Yeah. See, yeah, Onome, you are welcome to the show. Of course, this is the Ryan and Claude Show, episode 20. Yeah. See, Man City versus Arsenal at the Etihad. See, it doesn't get better than this. Top of the table clash. See, yeah, why are most people, yeah, talking about Arsenal as if we're not still top of the league? Onome, what do you have to say to that?
I think it's the recent results. Do you know what I mean? It's the amount of
Mm,
points dropped in the recent results. It's the amount of points dropped in this part of the season compared to the earlier part of the season where they weren't dropping any points at all.
yeah.
3 points from nine is not a great return. I think that's why people are sort of saying, you know what, you know, it's now in the balance compared to when it was 8 points clear, both level on games. It's now in the balance
Mm,
kind of thing, and you still have to play City at the Etihad, which is a difficult task for anybody um, on a normal day. But I think that's just what it is. I don't, nobody's saying you're not top of the league or anything. But I mean, listen, it's always been a marathon. It's never been a sprint. Do you know what I mean? So
No, no.
it's
See,
over
see,
30
see. Yeah,
games.
Onome, I get it. I get it. Yeah, of course, it's not a marathon. It, everyone understands this. Yeah, but why is it that when I hear different fan bases and different YouTube channels when they talk, at least this week since Monday, uh, they've been talking as if Manchester City is already top of the table. See, yeah, Arsenal is still leading in that table as far as I'm concerned,
Of
and
course,
those points that Man City have to get, they need to be earned. They are not points that would just automatically just appear for Manchester City.
of
So
course,
why that? I want to know why is it that people just feel like Man City have just run away with this? They still have to play Brentford. They have a match coming up against Chelsea. Chelsea will still try to see if they can still make in that European spot.
I,
I don't know what you think about that. I
I,
think those are games that uh,
I
that
for
might
one,
give
I for one,
City a
right.
little bit of a push, right?
What I think about this whole thing is this. I know people are saying, "Oh yeah, they still got to play Brentford away. They still got to play Everton away." Now, if you look at the history of Pep Guardiola, right, it's very rare you get 6 points from him. Very rare. Do you mean? If you beat him at home, or away, wherever you beat him, be rest assured the next fixture, he's beating you. It's very rare. So that's why I'm not even batting an eyelid on Brentford or Everton. I'm not even worried about them because I can't see them taking 6 points from City or 4 with the way City are performing right now, right? It's just, and this is the thing about the Real Madrid tie as well, in my opinion, is just because it's very rare for you to get 6 points off Pep, it's also going to be very rare for you to knock Pep out 2 years in a row. Pep is that manager that would learn from the last game and he will remember everything. And he will come back the next game and he will tweak something just for your game specifically. Do you know what I mean? Just because he knows, oh, last time you hurt me with this or last time you did this and that, that ain't going to happen again, right? He's that good of a manager in very small details of games. So I'm not, for one, I'm not worried about Everton. I'm not worried about Brentford. I'm not worried about those teams at all. The only game, which is the main topic right now, is the Arsenal game. Can we take 6 points from Arsenal? That's also rare. Are they going to just lie down for us to take 6 points from them? No way. They're not going to just lie down. But it's
totally understandable. Onome, I'm coming to you. See, we have comments down here. See, Arsenal forever. Welcome to the show. Sports Carnage, guys, go subscribe to Arsenal forever. Go subscribe to Sports Carnage. Great guy Mont and say Amy Baba is in the show. Princess Adora, my love, is also in the show too. She says, "Hey, butterfly, you know what yet Taib Hussein says City will win the league." Can you imagine? Assembled. Hello, bro. See, Taib Hussein, welcome to the show. The Assembled, I miss you, Taib. I missed you, man. Amy Baba misses my bro. Princess Adora. Hey, butterfly. See, Ryan, let me bring you in here, Look at what Arsenal Forever types in here at 9:55 in my time down here in Finland, Helsinki. He says, Man City have won 11 wins in a row in the Premier League meetings with Arsenal. See, what do you have to say to this, Ryan? It's not an atrocious statement, in it. It's a true fact, right?
Yeah, it's a fact. You can't deny it's a fact. It's a mental stumbling block the players are going to have to get over. It's going to be heavy on the mind no matter how well we play. We seem to not be able to get that victory against them. Obviously, I go back to the game at Emirates last year where we was phenomenal and we lost it in the dying embers. So it's just a mental stumbling block more than anything. Obviously, we can't win at Anfield, and we nearly did. The performance was good, other than letting the goals in. So we've definitely got. We play well. We've definitely got a chance, but we just have to try and get that kind of fact in the back, put it in the back of the mind, and just go for it's just one game and just go for it just for one game.
Yeah. See, Ryan, Sports Carnage, Monte is a Manchester United man. All season, he's been very critical about Arsenal. He's been saying Arsenal is going to bottle it from start to bottom. He's been consistent with that, actually. See, Ryan, what do you have to say? He says, told you, Tony, that Arsenal wouldn't win the league. That he said we're going to bottle it at some point. Let's see, what do you have to say to that statement before I go to Onome? Ryan.
So, to say that they told us they won't win the league, it's not something that someone would say and you'd think, wow, this guy's got amazing football knowledge. That we were fifth last year.
Ryan claps back, guys. He claps back. It's cooking. It's cooking, guys. Ryan, it's cooking.
We were fifth last year. These kind of people that predicted that we won't win the league, like Sports Carnage, would predict that we wouldn't get Champions League. They would predict that we might not have even got Europe. The chances before the first ball was kicked at the beginning of the season, we were written off completely. We weren't even in the conversation. for the league. If Sports Carnage had predicted us to finish second from the second or third week, then you hold your hands up and you say, "What a great prediction!" But just to say that Arsenal won't win the league, well done to you. Yeah, it's a great prediction. We're up against Man City, man. We know what kind of team Man City have. Look at the bench. Look at
Rich, brother.
there's a ridiculous
Rich,
team. They're going for they're going to win the FA Cup. They're going for the Champions League. We're not up against mediocre teams here. We're fighting against what could be the best team in the world. So it's a cracking prediction, Sports Carnage. Well played to you, mate. Well played.
Well played. See, what's all this talk? Yeah, I'm going up. See, all due respect to Manchester City, I'm going up against Manchester City. That's the pinnacle, yeah. So when I see all these other teams, just come from the woodworks and start mouthing off about Arsenal and, just saying that we've bought with it, like Manchester United fans, Chelsea fans, out here, Liverpool fans, out here talking trash about Arsenal, when we are legitimately the only team to act monster a challenge against Manchester City. See, I know we'll still go into the whole technicalities involving the preview of the match. Yeah, we'll go to that in the second half of this show. But see, Onome, won't you credit Arsenal, for at least going against Manchester City? Right now, it's just about more 7 games to go, and Arsenal is still top of the league. For me, that's a title challenge. What do you think?
They have been fantastic this season, Arsenal. They have been, if it wasn't for Arsenal, the league would have been done. I mean, the next to us is 56 points. So would have won the league a long time ago and would have been playing kids and just giving them medals right now, right? But it's because of Arsenal that we still have to play the strongest team and still play, at the top level, right? But Arsenal have been very good this season. Do you know what I mean? It's a shame that, towards the end, towards the finish line, nerves starts to hit and stuff like that. But for me, right, and I definitely want to talk about the Southampton game because there was something that really, I thought there was an opportunity there for a particular formation, a particular player that I would have looked at, and I'm pretty sure you guys are going to agree with me when I mention it to you. But I just feel like Arsenal have been very good this season, right? You're not actually up against humans. That's the problem you have. You're up against animals in human form. These guys are relentless. These guys are
Ryan, are you hearing this?
Like Erling Haaland is not. Is crazy. Like, man, who scores 5 goals in a game in a Champions League time? We're coming at home thinking, oh, I don't know, Leipzig, and within 2 minutes he was like, oh, game's done. Next, please. Do you know what I mean? He scored 5 goals in the game. Like, it's not something we've seen. He's got 47 goals this season. He's blitzed the Premier League record, 32 goals this season. Like, it's FIFA stuff. You know, one of them FIFA career mode where you want Erling Haaland to score all your goals and you're just always passing to him.
Blow that trumpet, brother. Blow that trumpet.
And when you lose a game, you go, you know what? I don't want to get sacked. Let me restart the game, right? It's one of them ones. It's literally Football Manager right now. It's FIFA. So you're not actually up against humans. You're up against a force of nature. These guys are something else. And they're just so normal and so calm with it that it's like, that's the norm. Like, we'll go to the end. Like, look at the last game of the season last season. Do you know what I mean? When everybody's going, oh my God. Well, that would be a bottle job. When you talk about bottling something, last game of the season, last season, if they didn't win the league, Man City, that's what you call a bottle job. What Arsenal is doing right now is not a bottle job. The beginning of the season, you've not been in the Champions League for 8 years. You're about to get the likes of Real Madrid come to your ground next season. Do you know what I mean? That's exciting, So you got to embrace that and still be happy with it, no matter the outcome of this season. Whether you win it or you don't, you literally got to embrace it and still support the players.
See, Ryan, you've heard what Onome said, yeah? See, he's brought out, lots of issues that we also have to open up down here. It's brought up magic down here. It's talked about Manchester City as this freak of nature, bringing in Lady Morgana and all those magic added up to it. See, do you believe that Manchester City... do you believe that Manchester City is this freak of nature that Onome is actually pushing them up, or framing them to be. Legitimately, these guys have won titles everywhere. In 6 seasons, I think they've won 4 titles. If I'm
No,
not correct,
five seasons,
if
four.
is it 5 titles? Good,
Four
and
of
they're
the last
having a
five.
very very good Champions League push right now. See, Ryan, are these guys unsurmountable? Are they a freak of nature? Can Arsenal go to Etihad and grind out a result?
It's It's a tough question. I don't think any team's unbeatable. I think there is possibly some slight little kinks, but very, very, very small kinks that would have to be unreal in defence and unreal in midfield and unreal in attack. That is just it. We'd have to be 110% the whole entire game. The main issue for me is that if we'd have picked up the right amount of points leading up to this game, we could have afforded a draw, maybe even a loss. But now it's just straight win, and the task monumental. It's monumental, and yeah, I do agree. They've got some absolute freaks of nature in the team. They've got Erling Haaland, who's obviously smashing all the records. They've got Kevin De Bruyne, who's one of the best footballers I've ever seen. Doesn't look like it, I think. Like I always think when you look at him before he's playing, or when he's just before the game comes, he just doesn't look like he's going to be a great player. He
looks like a normal human being, but he's not.
He doesn't look like he's properly in shape. I mean, it just probably just his body under the top, and he's got the skill in his feet. He's got the brain for it. He's just is unreal. And see, this is what I'm saying, right? I'm saying there's slight kinks with Man City. So a couple of weeks ago, I would say that slight kink is Ederson. We can get some goals past him, but now he's playing. Now he's playing ridiculous. And now
he was fantastic against Bayern.
Yeah, honestly,
it's ridiculous,
his distribution
man.
is always second to none. His brain is always football brain is always second to none. It's the actual goalkeeping that was a slight kink, and he seems to massively improve that. He's definitely fighting with Alisson for number one. So that slight kink's possibly gone, and like we just have
For me,
to
I
be
think it's
unreal.
number one.
But
For me, I think it's number one. I think it's number one.
Alisson,
I think it's number one.
Alisson for me has always been. He's always at distribution and been that slightly better keeper as well. And no disrespect to Ederson, they're both world-class keepers. For me, Alisson's always been that slightly better one. But in these past few weeks, as they've kicked on for the league and as they've kicked on for the Champions League and the FA Cup, he just is performing even better, especially in the actual goalkeeping role. So that slight little kink has probably gone. And then you're looking at players like Stones and Nathan Ake and players like that who have absolutely risen this season, especially like I said in the later run, they've been absolute class, and the chance is very, very, very slim, and we will see.
See, Onome, see, in the weekend when you guys played your FA Cup tie, since then there have been memes everywhere, flooded all over the internet, that you guys have rested 5 important players that they didn't even play. That Arsenal is going to be crushed even before we get into the ATM. See, with all those players rested, and including, Kevin De Bruyne, who kind of like find lots of joys and happiness in front of goal whenever he's playing against Arsenal. He got a very, very, lengthy rest, if I want to put it in that way.
I mean, the thing about
is Arsenal going to face a team that have 5 squad players, not really squad players, I mean your first teamers in your team that didn't even play last weekend, and they'll be going up against Arsenal, who have battled and struggled in that hard game against Southampton. What do you have to say to this? Is this going to be a crushing defeat?
Not at all. This is at the end of the day, this is a football match, right? And it's about moments. Do you know what I mean? Southampton had a couple of moments against you guys. They were clinical, bang,
Yeah.
bang, bang. Mistakes happen, and they find themselves, a goal ahead within how many seconds, right? 2-0 ahead and stuff, right? And then 3-1, right? So it's about moments. These games. It's not a case of, oh, we rested them. That doesn't mean that they're now fresh. They still played 40 odd games or 30 something odd games this season. So it's not a case of,
Yeah.
oh, because they rested for one game, they're completely fresh now to go into this game, right? It's a rest that needed to happen because we were playing against Sheffield United in the FA Cup. We still had a very strong team out. It was still a very solid team. When you talk about the players that rested, I mean, if you go through our lineup, it was still a solid team. You still had the back four. Only Sergio Gomez coming in. Obviously, Ortega is a very reliable goalkeeper as well. You have Sergio Gomez
But
coming
again,
in
that's
there.
because you have the luxury. You have the luxury to do that.
Of
Actually,
course,
you see, yeah,
of course.
I'm tired of Manchester City fans not saying it as it is. You have the
But
luxury
that's
to
my
do
point.
that.
That's my
Arsenal
point,
doesn't
Tony.
have that luxury to do that. You have a
That's what I'm
big,
trying to say
large
to you.
squad. You spent lots of money for this squad.
That's
Arsenal
what I'm trying
doesn't
to say
have
to
that,
you.
and we're going toe to toe with presumably the best team in Europe right now.
That's what I'm trying to say to you. I'm saying when it comes to the rest and stuff, it's a rest that was inevitable. They were always not going to play those players, but we still had enough anyway. Do you know what I mean? The only new player on that team that started in that team was Sergio Gomez. Everybody else, they normally play. Our front three was Mahrez, Haaland, and Grealish. I mean, those are three players that play regularly anyway. Do you know what I mean? You still have Gundogan and who else played in midfield? Bernardo still played in midfield and stuff. So those are players that play anyway. But Bernardo is having a season where he's been benched a lot, and this is, for me, in my opinion, as a result of Bernardo's leaving in the summer. So we are
Yeah.
getting our coping mechanisms without him already. That's why he plays the big games and the important games, because we know what we're going to get from him. But we're trying to now find a way to say, right, when he does leave, it's like, oh, Bernardo's gone. Okay, cool, no problem. But it wasn't a key player this season. He's a key player in big games, but he's not playing every game like he was before. So as far as you know, Bernardo's still fresh. As far as you know, Diaz's season started in December. Diaz actually started playing in December. Prior to that, it was benched a lot, and that's why we had the indifferent defense, because Diaz wasn't there. Diaz is our best defender no matter what, because he organizes everybody else around him, right? So Diaz season only started in December. Prior to that, it was just playing Ake and anybody else, right? So Pep has a way of taking players out and then bringing them back in, just keeping them hungry and stuff, right? So, I mean, Alvarez, played, but Alvarez is Alvarez. He's also a key player that plays regularly and stuff. So, yes, Man City do have the squad depth that Arsenal doesn't, but in your defense, right, I'll tell you exactly why you don't have the squad depth, right? The reason why you don't have the squad depth is this, in my opinion, from looking from the outside, right?
Ryan, you can interrupt at any time if you're hearing any
Nah,
gibberish.
no need, man, no need.
You have a lot of young players, right? You have a lot of young players, right? These young players were your squad depth. They were the ones that were on the bench before, when the likes of Lacazette, Aubameyang, Ozil, when they were there. Now, when you decided to get rid of the senior players and give these guys the chance to be the first team players, that's where you're now struggling for squad depth, because that was your squad depth, which was quality coming on and stuff, right? Now, how do you replace that squad depth? Because you've got young players, it's very difficult to attract a senior player, an older player, to tell him, listen, you're going to come and sit on the bench for Martinelli, who's 21, right? And he's going to be like, you say, what now? That's why Tottenham can never sign a striker, because any striker that wants to come for Tottenham is like, well, you're going to be sitting. He's like, I'm not coming to Tottenham if I'm going to sit on the bench. Why is Lautaro Martinez going to come to Tottenham and sit on the bench? He's an international player, so he's not going to come there. So it's difficult for them to sign anybody else, because you've got this guy or these players that are playing first team. The perfect signing for you guys would have been that Modric guy. Obviously, that happened the way it happened and stuff. But a player like that, for example, would have come, a quality player, and sit on the bench and stuff like that. But it's very difficult now. Trossard, for example, he's not going to want to sit on the bench forever. Trossard was playing week in, week out at Brighton. He's a senior player. Do you know what I mean? So at some point, he's going to say, listen, I want to start in spots. I don't know how you're going to do it, but I want to start in spots. I didn't come here to sit on the bench. So you're going to have that problem. But I don't know how Pep does it, how Pep is able to get everybody to just. It's almost like I don't know what it is, but everybody just go. I ain't saying nothing. Am I playing today? Okay, thank you, Gaffer.
Ryan, I have a
What happened
question
to
for
Man
you.
City?
That's why I left
It
that chat
might
down there. Uh,
Tony,
but see,
Tony,
yeah, yeah,
Tony,
yeah.
one sec. Just in response, it might have something to do with the massive amounts of money that they get paid.
True.
They probably get paid quite a bit, and
You keep your mouth shut for that money, wouldn't you?
yeah, well, that's it, innit?
I would.
And there's probably clauses in contracts that say you obviously you're a regular starter or you're a first teamer or you're a key player. If your contract states squad player, you sit on that bench, and if a squad player gets 100k a week, I'm a squad player every day, mate, any day of the week.
Yeah.
True. See, yeah, Ryan, I do agree with you. And that analogy you gave, on Omer, see, Harry Kane is the highest goal scorer for Tottenham Hotspurs. If a striker that they want to bring into Tottenham Hotspurs, if he wants to lay claim and start week in, week out, I'm sorry, you have to come in and prove yourself against the best striker that Tottenham Hotspurs has ever seen.
That's normal. That's facts. That's
for
normal.
me. It doesn't have to be. For me, it doesn't have to be the profile you're coming into that football club with. I think it's, can you prove yourself in that team? Can you prove yourself? Can you show that you could go head to head with Harry Kane?
Of course not.
For me, that's my own basis. So,
of course not.
Personally, I would like to look at Saka as that 21-year-old who's just there. I want to look at him like, if you're coming to replace Saka, you have to be better than Saka. You have to put performances that are befitting to say, you know what? I think we should give this guy a go in place of Saka.
That's going to be difficult to find because he's got to
start listening to you.
He's got double figures.
I don't know, but Ryan,
double figure assists. So it's going to be difficult to find. He's second.
That's the big question. But we'll still go down to Saka, right? We'll still go down to Saka, right? See, Brian, there's a reason why I left this comment down here for a long time, yeah? And it's from Arsenal Forever. See, Ryan, yeah? There's this thing going on everywhere, this meme everywhere, a teacher versus student. See, Ryan, Arsenal Forever said here, he said Pep Guardiola would know exactly what Arteta will do tomorrow night. Do you agree with Arsenal Forever? Does Pep Guardiola know legitimately? Does he know what Arteta is going to do tomorrow? He taught him everything he knew. Trust me. He's gotten 11 wins in a row, bro. See, that's for sure. Let's don't get it twisted. Does Pep Guardiola know what Mikel Arteta is going to bring tomorrow night?
So, obviously, the 11 wins will go back to a time when Arteta weren't the manager. So it's obviously not 11 against actually Mikel. He'll know some slight things. Mainly, he'll know some slight things about how the way he wants his team to play. They're both Spanish. They're both from Barcelona. You've got similarities there, and then obviously they work together. And you're telling, well, not you're telling me, but the comments saying that Arteta's gonna remember a conversation that he had with Guardiola about this kind of tactic and play that exact tactic, or he's gonna remember back to what they've said and what they've discussed and play that exact way, or they would have had a discussion when they were scouting Arsenal to play us about how Arsenal played. Is he going to play exactly like that? Don't be stupid, man. It's ridiculous. It's a daft comment. Coaches, if coaches have worked together, some coaches will come against each other that have played together or played against each other. You've got scouters, or you can watch us on TV, or you can go to the games. You've got ways of picking up how teams play. If a team's winning week in, week out, and you come up against them, there's probably 90% chance that team's going to play the way they did last week. So then you know how they're going to play. It's a bit of a daft comment because it's kind of right in a way, because you watch how Arsenal play, we like to build out from the back. like we like possession, like we like to go on the attack through the wings through Saka Martinelli. So you can come up with ideas of how we're going to play, but then to think that Arteta is that stupid that he would just play exactly what Guardiola knows him. It's just daft. It's just daft.
See, Onomed, do you agree with that? Because see, that comment is a dicey one. I do agree with Ryan, of course. I have to agree with Ryan, but
It's
I still
only
see a little bit of
it's to me
through
to
in
me,
there.
man.
Yeah, he thought it legitimately schooled under Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola
That means
already investigated and tried lots of styles, lots of lots of formation, framework, technicalities. He's the teacher for a reason. This guy trained under him, won titles under him. I do believe that at least Pep Guardiola understands a little bit of what Mikel Arteta is going to do. Because if he doesn't, why hasn't Mikel Arteta won or beaten Manchester City? He's only done that once in the FA Cup. He's only done that only once, in the FA Cup. He hasn't replicated that. So
my
if
thing with that,
it was going to bring something different, or if Pep doesn't know what it's going to do.
My thing with that comment is this, right? When the game starts, when you see the lineup, right? So the lineup comes into the opposing dressing room, I think about maybe an hour and a half before, something like that, right? So they get a team sheet to say, right, this is the team that the opposition is playing, this is the team that you're playing. So that gets submitted to each changing room like an hour before, right? So when Pep looks at that team and he sees your team sheet, which is most likely going to be, I don't know, Ben White, Saliba and what's his name now? Help me out. The defender.
Gabriel.
Rob Holding. Zinchenko left back. You're gonna have Partey. You're gonna have Xhaka back. You're gonna have Odegaard, and then you're gonna have your front three of Bukayo, Saka, Gabriel Jesus, and Martinelli. Right? When he sees that team sheet, yes, he's gonna have an idea that it's gonna be a 4-3-3 formation. Zinchenko is probably gonna come left, come inside and stuff like that. He's going to have that idea because that is a formation that Arsenal have played, right? It doesn't mean that everybody knows how Man City is going to play. Do you know what I mean? You guys know how Man City is going to play. We all know how each other is going to play. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to say, this is probably how Arsenal are going to play when you see the lineup, right? But what Pep actually does on his lineup is, against Bayern, for example, you all thought, and everybody thought, he's going to play Stones right back again, and Stones going to come into midfield. But actually, they've got pace on the left wing with Leroy Sané. So what he did was play Akanji right back, and play Stones centre back, and Stones still did that job in midfield. So you never know what they're going to do until you actually see them play. In the first 10-15 minutes, a manager literally sits there studying and works out what your formation is for the day. Pep has different formations that he plays. Mikel will sit there in the first 10-15 minutes and go, right, okay, cool. He's using Stones as a right back going into midfield, or he's using Stones as a centre back going into midfield. So guess what? The space is going to be A, as a centre back going into midfield behind him, or B, as a right back going into midfield, the right wingers, right, or your left wingers, right, to go into that space, right? So you never know until the actual day what he's going to do. To say that Pep knows Mikel and he knows what he's going to do, absolute bollocks. That's just rubbish comments. Do you know what I mean? That's not relevant at all. On the day,
but again, the proof is in the pudding. But again, the proof is in the pudding. Arteta hasn't beaten this guy.
That's not the reason why.
Apart from the FA Cup game. So
that's not the reason why.
I don't know. The proof has to be in the pudding, right?
That's not the reason why. Could it be that Man City have better players? Could it be that look, last season, right, when we lost 2-1, when we won 2-1 at your home, mate, that game was very uncomfortable. Even this season, I was at that game this season when we beat you 3-1 at your home, we had like 38% possession. That's not like us to have 38% possession. Do you know what I mean? So on the day, it's completely different. You don't know what these players are going to be on the day. Like on the day, it's who's up for it. The formation is the formation, how you guys play. If Zinchenko is coming, inside, or if Stones is coming inside, You're going to actually match each other on the day. But on the day, what happens on the football pitch on the day is first 15 minutes, the manager study what's going to happen. And then when Mikel calls everybody round and he calls them after like 15, 20 minutes, he can then adjust and say, guys, what's happening is they're playing John Stones from centre-back going into midfield. So what I want you to do, guys, is go to plan B, which is Gabriel Jesus. I want you to stay more on the defenders. So if you start on the defenders, you're going to be one-on-one with our centre-back because they're going to be split at 3. So he can adjust things as it goes. So what happens when he adjusts things? Does that mean that Pep knows him? Well, he just adjusted. He's adjusted because of what Pep is doing, or Pep has adjusted because what he's doing. Now, we played Bernardo Silva. We played 2 left-back against you at your home. 2 left-back he took to Mark Bukayo Saka. 2 left-backs. Bernardo Silva was a left-back. But the minute you're going past Ake, Bernardo Silva is like literally running alongside him. How are you going to go past both of them? That's a different for me. I've never seen Pep do that. 2 left-backs.
Ryan, you see all these technicalities on the that's what I brought into the show, yeah. And of course, Amy Baba says something here. Big up to the United family. He's a part of this family. He was having his show with me down here. Big ups to you, the United family. Ola, we love you. See, Ryan, you've heard Onome mouth off about the technicalities. It didn't really mouth off, but I like adding spice to the old.
Adding a bit of drama there, but no need.
Get a little bit into his skin, tear skin a little bit. But see, Ryan, he's just mouthed off about this whole technicalities and the whole frameworks. Stones, moving him here, moving him there, inverted, this is that. See, we've come to the crux of the matter, yeah? Man City, we're going to the Etihad, yeah? Good. Ryan, you're a professional in this. What alternatives do you see us? What alternative? I'm talking of framework, technicalities. What framework and technicalities can Arsenal employ into that game come tomorrow in the evening at the Etihad of all? What can we employ to that game that can win that game tactically for Arsenal? Mind you, we don't need a draw. We're not going there for a draw, Ryan Maguire. We're not going there for a loss. We are going there to win. It's a different ball game. This is the Premiership. It's not Bayern Munich. This is the Premiership. We ought to go there and win. Ryan, what are the technicalities that we see? We're going there with Rob Holding. Let's forget about Saliba. He's not showing up. What are those technicalities? Let us know, Ryan.
Yeah, so there's a couple of little changes you could make if you want to make any.
I can see that grin in your face.
So
I can see that grin in your face, Ryan.
Well, obviously, Rob Holding's the big question. Do we keep? Do we stick or do we twist? Do we get rid? I've seen quite a few people with having the opinion of maybe that at some points in the Southampton game it seemed that Partey dropped into defence, so that maybe there's an option of having Partey either centre back or right back. I've even seen, and Ben White dropping back into the middle. There's Kiwior on the bench that we could maybe bring in for Holding, but I've got a feeling Arteta's just going to stick with Bob Holding anyway. So I feel like it's not going to make massive changes in defence wise. Obviously, White on the right and Holding and Gabriel. Left back's the question. Do we bring Zinchenko? Well, not back in, but do we play Zinchenko over Tierney? The pace and the tackling on Tierney for me is the reason why I'd start Tierney against Man City's wingers, just because of his pace and his tackling, tenacity and all that stuff. So I'd probably bring Tierney in at left back, and then you've got the Xhaka question mark. Is Xhaka starting? Is Xhaka got back over his injury? If not, who do we go with? Obviously, we've seen us go with Vieira. That's not my replacement. If it was me, I'd have Trossard there playing at a slightly more attacking centre mid or attacking playmaker kind of position. Obviously with Partey, Odegaard, and Trossard, because we see when Trossard comes on, he completely changes the game, and it's great skill on the ball, and it can pop up with an assist in any game. And that, for me, the tactic of the game against City is to take the game to Man City, to go for it, just try and blow them out of the water as best as we can. And we do that with a touch more attackers on the pitch. So that's why I would have Trossard in centre mid, who you could maybe mix it up with. And then the front three, you're looking at just keeping it the same with Saka, Martinelli and Jesus. The only way you change that up, we would maybe have Trossard up maybe through the middle instead of Jesus. But someone like Jesus who knows City inside out, you think play them. But then again, it's a one game, so it could be they could play it any different way they want to. So just playing someone because they played for Man City doesn't make much of a difference. Another option maybe would to start Zinchenko, but in a more central midfield role. So replacing Xhaka for Zinchenko, keeping Tierney on the left maybe. So then, because we know what Zinchenko does, he goes into centre mid, and if Zinchenko is playing at left mid and going into centre mid, City's wingers are going to tear us apart. They're just going to attack that left side on us, and they're just going to get straight in, and it will be 4-0 by the 50th minute if we've not got a left back playing at left back. And then, so again, you've got the chance to mix it up and have three central defenders maybe. Something like a Gabriel or a Holding and a Tierney or a Kiwior or maybe even a Partey, and then go in with a 5 in midfield. So there's quite a few ways of changing it. Are you going to make massive changes to your team before you playing against a team like City? Probably not. You're probably going to. I'm guessing he's going to make 1 or 2 though. You don't want to massively mix it up, but I do expect 1 or 2 changes. Hopefully, it's Tierney coming in, and hopefully it's Trossard. I don't want to see Fabio Vieira starting. Nothing against him. I just don't think he's tough enough. I don't think he's quick enough for this game.
Ryan, thank you very much for that. But before I go to Onome, Ryan, see, you look at our game last weekend against Southampton, on Friday, and you look at the position of Southampton as a football club. They're the donuts of the Premier League. They're the big donuts of the Premier League, rooted deep down at the bottom of the league. These guys have no concern scoring 3 goals, putting 3 goals at the back of our net in the first, at least 2 goals in the first 12 minutes. And you know what, this is the bigger fish, It's Manchester City, and you go into the Etihad to win a title, This is a title-winning matchup. If we don't win this, it's done. See, if Southampton is putting 3 goals behind Arsenal, in what alternative reality are we going to go into the Etihad and be rest assured that we're not going to get up to 6 at the back of our net? Because it's Southampton who is at the lowest of the lowest in the Premiership. They're the donuts of the league. And they're put behind us. So, see, that back 4, something needs to change. If it's that same back 4 that played against Southampton that will come up against this Manchester City side that's ready to steamroll anyone and anybody, that they see right now. You can see what they did to Bayern Munich. These guys are killers. They're ready. They're killers and they're bullies. And the thing there is that these guys, they smell blood. When they see a player like Rob Holding, they're gonna pounce. They're gonna pounce. These guys are hyenas and lions. They're gonna pounce because they know. It's true. It's true.
I get what you're saying.
Rob Holding.
Now listen, Tony.
It's not rocket science, Ryan. Changes need to be made to that back 4 that played against Southampton. If not, we're going to be roasted at the Etihad. Trust me, Ryan. Trust me.
I get what you're saying. 100%. And we can blame the defence till the cows come home. And we know we're weaker without Saliba. But let's not forget that first goal goes in because Ramsdale, it's a stupid decision and gives the ball away. Oh. So we're not gonna sit and discuss dropping Ramsdale. Yeah, we're not going to sit and discuss dropping him our way, but we will discuss Rob Holding for I don't know. Did he make a mistake? Can you point out a mistake that he made? And listen, I'm not supporting Rob Holding. It's very harsh on the guy. Listen, when you're the quality of Rob Holding coming up against a defender like the quality of Saliba, where as soon as Saliba's not there, you can see the difference, and it's harsh on Rob Holding. But then again, it's just one of them things. Saliba's that good that it's a massive difference, and we're not seeing much analysis of this in the media. By the way, no, we're not seeing this on the papers of why we're losing, why we've changed, or why we're suffering because Saliba. It's just Arsenal are suffering. By the way, no one properly seemed to mention it. But we can change the defense as much as we want. But if Ramsdale makes decisions like that, that's when we're going to choke. So hopefully it was just a case of they expected to win because it was Southampton. They had the mentality of playing the bottom, and that's messed them up in the first 12 or 20 minutes, whatever it was. So hopefully they've got a much better mentality against Man City, where they know they're in for a tough game and they can come out playing exactly how we expect them to.
Well, anyway, the comparison it's in itself very divisive. These guys have John Stone come in, Centurions like Diaz, and that. See, yeah, and then we'll present someone like Rob Holding to come and win us a title. So, see, I don't know, man. It's all clocked up, yeah. Anthony Herbert is here, my big brother Anthony Herbert, a crest member of this channel. Tony, big up. Good to see you back, mate, and congratulations to one Arsenal to win, but I think it might be a draw. See, yeah, Onome, your wish is already happening. Arsenal fans, top Gunners are already dropping even before we go to the 80-yard. A whole Anthony Herbert already agrees that it's going to be a draw. See, man, that's how bad it gets, yeah? TJ Warren, who is also our guy, shout out to you, Anthony Herbert. You know we love you, man. TJ Warren TV, a big friend of this show, big guy. Mama Flossie, I see you. Princess Adora, my wifey, she says, hope Arsenal wins. But TJ Warren says something here. He says, welcome back, Tony, my G. Hope you're well. See, yeah, TJ Warren, I'm well, man. I'm well. But we have a bigger fish to fry, TJ Warren. I don't know what world you're in. This is not a time for hugs, kisses, touches. This is the time. This is the time to deliberate on what's gonna happen to us tomorrow. Are we gonna get steamrolled by Manchester City? TJ Warren.
I want to make a point.
Anthony Herbert says Leeds 1, Leicester City 0. Of course, that's me. And I'm sorry, Oname, I'm coming to you.
Yeah.
Princess comments there. She says, hope Arsenal wins. Yeah, wifey, I hope they win too. Amy Baba says, yeah, apart from Man City's challenge, we still have tough teams in Newcastle and Brighton. I'm gutted that we missed our chance to be 11 points clear City before tomorrow. Onome,
I want to make a point, right?
I can't even go to that comment from Amy Baba. He speaks the truth, man. Newcastle. Brighton.
I want to make a point.
I don't even want to go there. Yeah,
I want to make a point, right? There's all these talks and all these comments about your squad and this and the other, right? When you have this, when this season starts, right? Everybody kind of know what their objective is, right? Who's fighting for top 4, who's fighting for top 6, who's fighting for whatever, right? So you take West Ham, for example, never used to play in European competitions, right? And the last 2 seasons, they've played in Europe, gone to the semi-final, quarterfinals in both competitions, which meant that after the first experience, the first year, they kind of noticed that, boy, this is hard, Europe games and stuff, we got to come back, we have to have a bigger squad. So they have to adjust now. To the next year, they have to adjust and say, right, we need squad depth, right, to be able to cope with this, right, which they have adjusted and, got more players. What you need to understand, at the beginning of this season, Arsenal's objective was to try and better last season, which is to finish top 4, right? They haven't finished top 4 in the last 8 years, right? Now, if your objective is to finish top 4, right, you're not going to have the squad depth that Man City has, which their objectives is to win the league and be at the latter part of every competition. Your objective is to finish top 4, which means the likes of Rob Holding will do thank you very much for that kind of challenge. The only reason why you're seeing this arse right now is because you're fighting for the title, right? So everything now is magnified and it's like, oh my God, like, whoa, everybody's looking into Arsenal now. If they were just quietly going about their business of trying to finish top 4, nobody will notice that Rob Holding came in today and played supply teacher tomorrow and did this or did that, right? Next season, when you're now in the Champions League, you're going to see changes. This squad depth you're after, you're going to see changes. You're going to see more players and more quality players on your benches. So because now your objective is completely different. Now you're playing the Champions League, right? Now you're going to be like, okay, we want this squad depth. In order for us to have this squad depth, we want to go further in every competition as well to keep this squad happy. That's what Man City is doing. They're gonna go for every competition. That's why I'm still hurt by Sterling leaving, because I'm like, you get 25, 30 starts regardless at Man City for a senior player. Rico Lewis he's played how many games? And that's young Rico Lewis, 18 years old. Do you know what I mean? So when you now get to next season, you're going to see this squad there from Arsenal, for example. They're going to have all these players because they're going to be fighting on all 4 fronts. You're not now going to have the likes of all your first team players traveling every whatever to go and play Europa League Thursday night and games like that, right? You're going to have the squad that you need. But the objective this season was to finish top 4. That is why. But it's just so happened that you're fighting for the title, and now it's like, oh my God, we need the squad that the Man City has. You know, that takes a long time to get. Do you know what I mean? And it also takes the right kind of temperaments of players to get for that. Alvarez, for example, he knows that I'm behind, Erling Haaland. But at the same time, I trust Pep is going to give me my fair share of games. If I work hard and I do my business and stuff, I'm going to play games. That's what it comes down to. Do you know what I mean? Now, in terms of your Southampton game that I wanted to touch on, I watched that game. I was actually at the game. I watched that game live, right? And I was
you were at the game.
I was so shocked that with Xhaka missing, that wasn't an opportunity for your manager to experiment on the following. Tierney left back, Zinchenko taking over Xhaka's position instead of playing Vieira. You're fighting for a title, right? You're fighting for a title. This is not the time. I'm sorry. This is not the time to play a player that hasn't played for the last 10 games to go to Sport Direct and buy him football boots and say, right, you're playing in this big title deciding game. You need the players that have the momentum, right? Whether they're playing a little bit out of position or whatnot. And by the way, Zinchenko wouldn't be playing out of position if he played that Xhaka position because he's a midfielder. Man City turned him into a left back. In his country, he plays midfield in his country. So that wouldn't be strange to put Tierney there and solidify him. That would mean that you're actually experimenting just before the Man City game to see if that's going to work. If that's going to work, now you have a different dimension. But guess what? You go into the Man City game now. This is not the time to now say, oh, yeah, let's experiment. Don't come and experiment to the Etihad. You can't experiment there. Do you know what I mean? That was the time to experiment and say, you know what? Let's try this and let's see if it works. Push Zinchenko forward a little bit, put Tierney there and solidify it. Let's see if that works. If it doesn't work, great. Do you know what I mean? But to play Vieira in that position was criminal, in my opinion. And it was a shot he took with his right foot. I just thought, oh my God, am I watching an under-12 game or am I watching the first team game here? It was just
but wait, Ryan, you've heard Onome, yeah. Should we be experimenting at the Etihad tomorrow? Should we be
That's a good point.
Playing these players as pawns tomorrow at the Etihad? Should we be using Zinchenko as a filler in the midfield? Should we be doing all this at the Etihad, Ryan?
No, it's a good point. Obviously, I'm glad I said that position swap before. Onome mentioned it because it sounded like I'd be copying about my actual own club. But yeah, it's a good point. But then, like you said, I don't know if it's that much of an experiment because, like you said, that's where he was played. That's where he played before. Is that he's a capable centre midfielder because we see him do it in games where he leaves the position and goes in. I think it's less of I think that's a more viable option than him playing at left back. I really do, because if he's at left back going into centre mid, we've then not got a left back, and that's going to be a massive issue. But then to have him at centre mid and have that left back cover in Tierney it'll be more of a weakness in playing at left back for us, because we know he disappears, and then even when he's not there, even when he is there at left back, can he make the tackles that Tierney can make on the Man City wingers? That's the question. That's the question as well. So I don't know if it's exactly an experiment, but then again, yeah, it is right. You don't experiment at Man City, but I don't think it'll be too much of an experiment. I think he's already made for that position, so it won't be a massive surprise to him to play there.
It's just a case of like he's not done it before.
Going to the last.
That's the thing.
Yeah, just before we go into the last part of this show, of course, which is the game tomorrow and how it's going to look like, final scores and where the heat map of the key battles will be up for that matchup. Mama Flossie has just renewed her membership for the channel. Big ups to you, Mama Flossie. Mama Flossie, she supports me all the time, man. She's this lady, found this channel. She's always been supporting us. Mama Flossie, thank you very much, and that's from the heart to you. Thank you very much. Wilson Iwene, my guy too, is down here too, with us. The Assembled is still with us, and my very, very close pal and affiliate, Amy Baba, is still down here. See, Ryan, before we go to Onome quickly, the Assembled he throws something to you. Yeah, he asked about you specifically to answer this for him. I feel it's laughable, man, this name coming up. But Ryan, do you think Nketiah, as a surprise tactic, could come into the reckoning, as Vieira should never have been playing on Friday? He makes it about Vieira, but Nketiah, how do you answer that question, Ryan? It's you. It has to be you. It's a Ryan and Claude show.
If the questions drop in Vieira and going kind of with two main attackers, and Nketiah and Jesus, I'd have Trossard and Jesus. If there's any other play other than Jesus playing up front, would be Trossard for me. It would definitely be a surprise tactic to bring in Nketiah in. I don't think Eddie's strong enough. I don't think he's good enough. He seems like a good lad, and it seems harsh to say it, but yeah. And I don't like to tell people I don't want him to have a job, but if Nketiah's job's playing up front for Arsenal, I don't want him to have it. And it's harsh, isn't it? But yeah, he's not good enough. Would Man City be playing Nketiah against Arsenal? No, they would not. So we can't play him, especially when we've got other better players. Obviously, Man City won't be playing Wabaldin, but with no one else to play, mate, pretty much. So yeah, I wouldn't bring Nketiah in. It would definitely surprise me, and I might not even watch if it was. But yeah, no, I won't be bringing Eddie in.
On please, yeah. Which striking formation do you think is the most lethal that Arsenal can conjure up to actually face you? I know you've been enraptured by this facade that Manchester City are unbeatable in a way, or are these monsters and robots, this freak of nature that people cannot beat. Can Arsenal monster up a front three that you think can scare you? Just tell me, what do you think?
Definitely they can. I think you need to play Jesus, but the instruction to Jesus would be, don't drop to right back or left back or centre mid. Actually stay up there so you can stretch them. Do you know what I mean? That would be the specific instruction for this game. You need to stay up there so you can stretch them. Do you know what I mean? Rather than, having you back here to do a job that somebody else can do and somebody else is doing. Do you know what I mean? That's what I think. You have to have the front three of Jesus, Bukayo Saka, and Martinelli. That's your front three. That's your front three that's always been, and that's your front three that it is going to be. But it's about what and how Jesus plays. Do you know what I mean? When you're looking for that outlet, when you're looking for that person that's going to run the channel run or something like that, he's not there, and that's what kills you sometimes, in my opinion.
Mm. Ryan, I think we have to go for the predictions of that matchup tomorrow. But I'll start with you, Onome. Okay, Ryan is back here. Ryan, predictions for that match. Where will be the key battle in that matchup tomorrow? And what do you think is your prediction for that matchup tomorrow? Also,
You know what? It's very basic, but the key for us is to um, try and mark De Bruyne out the game, and put Gabriel on Haaland as best as he can. Maybe Gabriel and someone else. We need. For me, it would have been perfect for Saliba and Haaland, but it's injuries, so there's nothing we can do there. That's the main key: is try and mark them out the game, keep them as quiet as we possibly can, and then to just the key would be our strength is in attack, and the key battle would just be trying to attack their defense as best as we can.
can yeah. Scoreline. Don't avoid that, Ryan. Don't.
You want me to say a score? Do you want me to be?
Give us a score.
Do you want me to be modest or positive? What do you want from me? Pick one.
You can be anything. You can be anything. Identify as anything.
Right. So I have a realistic scoreline in my head that I'll push. I want to push away because I don't want it. I don't want to think about realistic scorelines. I want Arsenal to go to the Etihad, face a very good Man City team who are going to play as best as they can. We'll play as best as we can, and we'll win 3-2. I hope, man. There's fingers crossed. Like I said, I had a realistic one that I'm not throwing that out there. But if we can go there and win 3-2, I mean, I'm not going to predict that we lose. I'm not going to predict we draw and drop out the title race. I'm going to predict we win 3-2, man, because we've got to be positive. We can't be negative. The sun was shining today. It's not anymore, but the sun was shining. We're nice and happy. Let's go for a nice 3-2. Big, nice goals from City, big goals, but we'll get one more. That's my prediction. Chop me head off, go at me if you want. It is what it is.
See, guys, it doesn't get better than this. Yeah, Ryan. Ryan is asking for the chop right here. Yeah. Onome, what do you think? Key battles for that matchup tomorrow, and
Key
the
battles
scoreline.
for me would be with Nathan Ake missing. I think it's going to be Laporte that replaces him. I mean, don't get me wrong, Laporte is a very good defender, but Nathan Ake has been so brilliant this season that you know he's going to be missed. So it all depends on what we do with that side of things. I don't think much will change anywhere else. I think it will be just that change. That will be a key battle to watch out for. On your other side, Martinelli on Akanji. I think Akanji handles that, to be honest. Akanji's handled Sané in the Bayern game. I think he handles that. That for me would be something to watch out for. Something else to watch out for would be if Gabriel Jesus does the dropping off and plays so deep as to where it's needed. I mean, Gabriel Jesus should not be showing for the ball 5 meters away or 10 yards away from his centre back to get the ball from his centre back. What's he going to do when he gets the ball from his centre back and turns to play forward? Who is he playing that ball to? That's where he's supposed to be. The midfielder should come and get that ball and look out for his run. Do you know what I mean? If you remember the goal, just take you back to Aston Villa versus Man City, the last game of the season, last season. If you remember our last goal against Villa, which is the third goal, it was actually Gabriel Jesus making an in-behind run behind the centre-back. And Cancelo or Rodri tried to play that ball to him. It got intercepted, and then De Bruyne picked up that ball. But that's the position that he needs to be. Try and threaten behind the defenders as opposed to playing feet. If he plays feet, mate, I tell you now, Ruben Diaz is going to have his cigar out the whole game. If he tries to come short all the time, he is not dangerous when he tries to come short. He's not dangerous. He needs to go in behind if that's what they signed him for, to play as a striker. So that would be something I'll look out for to see if he's been adjusted to say play up front Don't drop off. Play up front. We need to stretch them. That's another key battle for me. And another key battle will be obviously how your defenders handle Erling Haaland. That's the battles for me. But the game is going to be won in midfield.
Onome, please don't mention that name. Can you please don't mention that name?
Gives you nightmares, doesn't it?
Come on, man.
Gives you
It's Rob Holding handling the freak of nature himself, Erling Haaland. Come on, man.
You know what it is with Erling Haaland, right? You know what it is with Erling Haaland, right? When he played against you guys, I actually saw a different game to, I don't know who else saw it, but I actually saw a non-league striker, but with a world-class finishing. He was just angry. He was just a nuisance. He was like a non-league big striker, like, I'm going to put my body in there. I'm going to chase that lost cause. I'm going to jump for that header. I'm going to put my body in there. You're going to hit me, and I'm not going to fall. Like, he was just like everywhere, right? But then he had that class of, I'm going to take that 2 touches, and I'm going to finish, and you're going to go, oh, I thought I was watching Gravesend for a minute. Oh, no, it's Man City. Oh, it's Erling Haaland. So he can hustle and bustle with the way you want to do it. If you want to play that kind of game, he can do that. Do you know what I mean? If you want to play a different kind of, like he played against Upamecano and Delete, doesn't get much stronger than those pair. Do you know what I mean?
It doesn't get me, and of course he'll be. Oh my God, Ryan. He'll be looking at Rob Holding like an ant. I don't know if you've watched Ant-Man before.
It wouldn't disrespect Rob Holding. It wouldn't disrespect him like that.
Rob Holding.
It wouldn't disrespect him like that. But it's
come on, man, Ryan.
It's a difficult one.
Listen, so Tony, I've said the example before, and I'll say it again. We came up against Chelsea in the FA Cup final. We had to bring in Rob Holding. Jake Costa had an amazing season. He was bullying every defence in the league. And Rob Holding said, no, you're not bullying me. And he didn't let him bully him. And he stood up to him and had an amazing, it was an incredible performance for him. We need something similar to that. Have the mentality, just saying, no, I'm not going to let you bully me. If he does him just by complete skill and, like he said, just by absolute tenacity, and then he hold your hands up and fair play. Just don't make stupid mistakes, but just have that confidence to remember his last previous performances.
Right. Costa did not score 47
Onome, please, your predictions for the show. Your predictions for the game tomorrow.
Costa did not score 47 goals. My prediction.
No, because he wasn't a poacher. He was a different kind of striker.
My predictions. It's at the Etihad, so it's a difficult game. It'll be interesting to see who gets the first goal, who blinks first. But I think Man City are going to win, and I think it's going to be a 3-1 win to Man City.
See, when Onome says things like this, this guy has. I won't lie, he has been very, very consistent, with his predictions this season. Ryan, apart from, all these things, he's also my friend. I talk to him on phone most times, and he's giving me some very, very awkward kind of like predictions, but they've all come true. And he was always that voice of reason, him and Manny also, that were also saying, you know what, you have to be humble a little bit, but everything is coming, to a closure. But I still believe that Arsenal can still do something tomorrow. Ryan, why are you an Arsenal fan if in nights like this you cannot galvanize your team and believe in your team? So I'm going to believe in Arsenal Football Club that we're going to go to the Etihad and do a job on these guys tomorrow, a hitman job. Because, we're being pushed all right now. We have no other thing. Manchester United are on the brink of another title in a season that they're not even coming second in the Premier League. It tells a lot. And Arsenal is going for that league. We've won no other titles in terms of domestic cups this season, and we can't even win the league. It's horrible, man. So we're being pushed, to the wall right now. We need to put up that performance tomorrow. Go to the Etihad and shut it down. It's in our wheelhouse. We can do it. So
Yeah,
I'll
you've
predict
got that.
a 4-3 tomorrow. A 4-3 tomorrow. Arsenal will win that game. 4-3. It's going to be a
That's a
high-scoring
thriller.
one because
That's
I
a
know
thriller.
Arsenal is
An
going to come
absolute
We
out to
thriller.
score
win the
three
game.
goals. We score 3 goals at the Etihad. You're in trouble if we score 3 goals. I tell you that much.
I know, but
Yeah, but we're scoring 4,
again,
so
I do
so
think
it
that
seems
Arsenal is
like
going
it
to
should
come
be
out.
okay.
Arsenal is going to come for this match, yeah,
Who
guys.
scores? How did he go? How did he get to?
See on
How
the
did he
man
get to
laughing.
4-3?
Look at on the
When
man
did
laughing.
you score your 4?
God.
Did you go 4-0 up and we came back 4-3, or did we go 3-0 up and you came back? How did he go about? Because
No, I reckon it's the 3-0. I reckon you went 3-0 up like you did against Leicester. You went 3-0 up against Leicester. You dropped off a bit. Leicester scored 1. But for some reason, somehow, with Almighty God behind us, we got 4 goals instead of 1. And that's how it happened. We were 3-0 down at half time. Second half, we just ripped Roger, and then it was finished 4-3.
if you're 3-0 down at half time, listen. Anyway, you will miss the last train if you're 3-0 down at half time, because you'll be gone home by then. You will not miss the last train. Don't worry, you get home on time if you're 3-0 down at half time, because the game is over.
No, yeah, there's no you know what, yeah, on the man, there's no shame. Even if we go 4-0 down tomorrow, I just want to see us have a go. Don't just cower and be cowards in front of Man City. Have a go. Like if we lose that match 2-3-0, I don't mind. But just have a go. Score some goals. Fight. Show that fight. I want to see that fight tomorrow.
Yeah,
we just
you know
have
what
to
it is.
go.
You know what it is.
Confront
You know why
them.
this game has become. You know why this game has become so difficult. This game has become so difficult now. Where, okay, when you're playing against Man City, if you go at them, right, you're in trouble. If you sit back, you're in trouble. You don't know what to bloody do against these guys. Do you know what I mean? So, if Arsenal was going to this game with the last 3 games being wins, and you got that comfortable lead, right, it will be a lot easier because you go there more relaxed, and you go there not really going at them and not really sitting back. Do you know what I mean? So you kind of be half and half kind of thing. But it's the pressure of like, we've got to win these games, guys. Do you know what I mean? We've got to win this game. Now City's in a position where, okay, let's see what you guys do. Are you coming at us, or are you? Do you know what I mean? So it just depends. It's a difficult game now. The last 3 results has really messed things up for you.
Ryan, do you think we're going to come out, or are we going to sit in defense and sit back?
We have to go for it.
We have to go for it.
We have to come out and go for it. There's no other option. Is pretty much right. If you go for it against City, you could be in trouble. If you sit back, you can be in trouble. I would rather be in trouble because we went for it than because we sat back and let City play. There's no chance. There's no way in the world that I would prefer that. I would rather us go for it, give 110%, try and get goals, get caught on a counter attack, and concede that way. I would, other than sitting back, allowing them to. If you sit back and allow
them to run the show and
players
and
like
destroy us.
Bernardo and De Bruyne and all them kind of players and Mahrez, you allow them guys to have the ball, you're knackered, mate. There's no chance. Yeah. So we need to go for it because we can get goals, we can score, we know we can. We've watched us score all season, and we're second behind them on the scoring chart, so we know we can score. We've got confidence in the team in the way we have played this season and the position we're in. I tell you what, Tony, if someone would have said to me at the beginning of the season, 7 games remaining, you're playing Man City in a title decider, I'm taking that every fucking season, 110%, mate. So that we're even here in a conversation I did not expect us to have at the beginning of the season. So for even having the conversation is amazing for me, and it's been a great season. But to sit back and let them play and lose that way is not the way I want us to see. And I honestly don't see Arteta, don't see Mikel setting his team out to do that. I do not see it.
Guys, on that note, we have to come to the end of this show.
Last one of what you just said, right? Right now, you're top of the league, right? If you lose against City, losing against City 1-0 or 3-0 or 2-0, a loss is a loss. Do you know what I mean? So you'd rather go for it than come out of there with regret. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
for
yeah,
it, and if you go for it
100%.
and play your own game, you could win. It's you're going for it.
That's
Nobody said you're
100% as
destined
well.
to
Yeah,
lose. Do you know what I mean? Nobody said you're destined to lose. If you go for it and play your game, you could win. If you sit back and let them play their game, mate, they will
we
play their
can't
game
win. You
and
can't
enjoy
win.
playing the game, and you can't win. So you losing to them, your league position doesn't change. Do you know what I mean? It changes at the end of the season. You finish second or you finish first or whatever it is. But if you go to this game and you have any regrets coming off that pitch and say, oh, I wish we went for it. I wish we just tried and just attacked them rather than sit back, rather than play five at the back. Change your tactics. Whichever manager changes their tactics so much for this game loses. This is how the top teams work. You don't go there and give them the upper hand by saying, I have adjusted my tactics a lot because of you. Now I'm going to play 5 at the back because I'm coming to the Etihad. The minute you do that, you lose the game mentally already. You've already lost before you even step on the pitch. You got to go there and play your own game. You got to go there and play how you've been playing the whole season. And whatever happens, happens. Que sera, sera.
Exactly, 100%.
Yes, sir.
But good luck with that.
On the man, on the man, I know you're enjoying this, yeah. You're enjoying this, yeah. But I pray God shows you tomorrow that is God.
I've always been humble.
I have to go spiritual on you now.
I've been the one calming you down. I've been the one telling you the title's not over. I've been humble with this. You know I've been humble.
On the man, please shout yourself out and where people could find you. I pray that tomorrow God humbles you.
I'll find you after the City game. Don't look for me. I will find you after the City game. Don't worry about that.
Ryan, where can they find you? And of course, our TikTok page. Ryan is doing a great job in TikTok down there. Say, Ryan, shout out yourself. Tell these people what you do, and just talk, man. It's a Ryan and Claude show.
Yeah, like you said, we have the TikTok page, the Ryan and Claude Show, on there. We generally do just the preview of the show. We'll get some clips on the show on there as soon as possible. And on Twitter, Maguire23, and that's pretty much it. And you'll see me on Tony's channel as much as he lets me. I'll always be on there as much as he asks me. What we normally do the banter of the club, banter club of the week normally. I wasn't going to do it this week just because it was the first week back. We're not properly in the role of the show, and especially with us drawing 2-2 at Southampton, it would have been a bit. We didn't play well. We didn't get a win and then to call someone else a banter club of the week wouldn't have been. I don't know. It wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been good. And then Tottenham lost 6-1. They were 5 goals down in 20 minutes against Newcastle. And I thought, you know what? I will do Banter Club of the Week, actually. Banter Club of the Week's got to go to Spurs. Has to. So, and that's where I'll finish my... That's where I'll finish my...
Go to Spurs.
Shout out to DG Spurs if he's listening. Shout out to DG Spurs.
DG Spurs. See, guys, DG Spurs, the mouthy Tottenham Hotspur fan, will be here on Thursday, guys.
He's retired, I think.
The legend, the myth, the legend, DG Spurs, will be here on Thursday. See, man, he has to come.
Is he for real?
I'm telling you, man, it has to come and explain to us why Newcastle would do them dirty like that.
Tony is only coming to show on Thursday because it's the day after we play Man City. That is the only reason he is coming to the show. He's expecting a loss.
And trust me, whatever happens, he's going to now have something to talk about.
Yeah, do not
get him before
that. Do not do that show with him. He cannot come up with He cannot come up on Billy Big Bollocks because we've had a game against Man City. His team's just lost 6-1 against Spurs. If he's anything but humble on Thursday, just Well, I can't say what I'd like to say. So, just send on me around to give him a slap, man.
He'll be humbled. If I'm on that show, he will be humbled. I've got a few things to say to him.
Oh my God! They're supposed to be coming down here.
He said they're either going to win
on
the Champions
Thursday.
League or
I'm
the
still
league.
seeing
That's
him
what
on
he said.
streams. The guy really has guts and confidence. I see him everywhere. He's talking tough. But let's see what's gonna happen. Guys, yeah, Pochettino in Chelsea Football Club. See, we have to talk about this later on, yeah. I don't know, man. Next season might be a tough one, yeah. Poch is back to the Premiership. But let's see what's gonna happen. On that note,
it'll be sacked
episode
by
20
December.
Let's see, man. Let's see. I do rate Pochettino. I rate him, actually. I do rate him, and I think he'll be.
He's the man. He's the man they need. He's the man they need. He'll get that club back.
Pochettino's a decent manager, but Pochettino's not going to be in charge of the signings. He's just not going to be. That's going to be Todd Bowley. And he's going to make them. But that's the thing. I know they don't, but he's going to make them. They don't need them, but Todd Bowley's going to make another 12 signings in the summer. The squad's going to have about 55 players in it, and he's not going to be able to work with it.
And you want to talk about financial fair play on us, where we spend chicken and chips these days to get players. Chicken and chips it costs us to get Haaland.
You can't mention
Ryan,
FFP.
But Ryan, yeah. This Manchester City problems we're having with the FA, can't they ring in the punishment right now and deduct points from these guys right now?
Tony, come on.
Like, that's not Tony, I told you.
What you talking about? They don't know how you get the league.
This FA, I don't know, man.
Tony, I told you that them issues would just disappear. When that happened that week, I told you that they would just disappear. That oil money that Man City are rolling in, the people that are in charge of FFP, their pockets are now full as fuck, man.
Full of money. Just we're not even hearing it in the news. It just disappeared.
Told you, no one's even mentioning it anymore. It's not. It's just disappeared. God. No one's mentioning it. That's exactly what I said would happen.
The thing is as well. You got to understand as well. They don't want to make the Premier League a mockery, right? A laughing stock out there, because they're claiming that the Premier League is the best league in the world. So you can't just come and be doing what how the Italian league got dead, right? It was through them corruption and all that stuff. That's how Italian league just went.
If you did the crime, you have to face the punishment in it.
I listen. I can't speak much about it because I don't know what crime they're talking about. But from what
good.
I don't know.
You deny. Of course you deny. Ryan, right?
Yeah, it's a great tactic. Every kid at 5-year-old has the exact same tactic. I don't know what you did. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. Claim ignorance, man. Claim ignorance. What money? We're paying who? What? How much we paying for who? What? Where? I don't know.
But hang on. We got Haaland for 63 million. Alvarez for 15. Akanji for
No. You paid a release clause. You paid a release clause for Haaland. If it was no release clause, you'd be paying 350 million for him because it's that tuppence for you.
We're not that rich. We can't afford him.
See, guys, on that note, this show is going to be 2 hours, and I don't want it to get to 2 hours.
He's only on 900,000 a week.
It's only on 900,000.
Fair enough.
Guys,
fair enough then.
Thank you, everyone.
Charges dropped. He's only on 900.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. Tomorrow, I want to do a watch along. I will still ask Ryan if he would want to do a watch along for that match.
I can't do it. Not for that game.
You can't, right? Yeah. So I don't know.
You don't want to.
And if Steve, and for some reason, I'm trying to get Steve.
You get my most friendly, happy, positive side. If anything in that game, I won't be that.
Ryan wants to disappear.
You won't know who it is. You won't know who it is on the camera. They'll be like, "Who's this new guy you've invited to the show?" They won't have a clue who it was. Before we shoot off, like you said, Tony, before we shoot off, obviously, as we always do, we thank everyone that's turned up, everyone that's commented, every single question, everyone that watches, likes, and subscribes. We love you.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for showing up. Tomorrow I might be having that watch along tomorrow. If Steve Mahala does come to the show tomorrow, then I will be having that watch along. If he doesn't come, then I will just chill and watch that match in the comfort of my home and just relax. Thank you
Under
everyone
the
for
covers,
coming to the show.
hiding your face.
Thank you everyone for coming to the show. And guys, see you tomorrow. Even if we don't come tomorrow, then see you on Thursday where Deji Spores will be coming down here. Onome will be joining us for that one also
Tony,
because he
if
has
you
some
want, if you
few choice words to tell Deji Spores. Yeah, Ryan wanted to say something before we quickly
if
go.
you want to do a post game show, I'll show for that no matter what the result is because
Okay, then
I can bring myself back
you can
down for a
soak it
post game
all
show.
in, right? Yeah, yeah. Okay, then
Yeah, yeah,
instead
yeah.
I'll do a post game show, and I can have you on Ome can also pop into for that. But Onome will be with me and Deji Sports on
Depending on the
Thursday.
result, depending
That'll
on
be
the
a big one.
result,
Yeah,
depending
depending
on the
on the
result, if
result.
the
I'm
pod
in.
may comes.
It doesn't bother me. I'm in regardless.
No,
We lose,
I
we
mean
win.
me, I
I
mean
turn
me.
up. Oh yeah, yeah.
Depending on the result, you're not allowed to come. We'll see what the
Oh
result is,
right.
and then we'll see if we let you turn up.
Exactly, exactly. So, guys, you know what? Yeah, that show is cancelled. So, the show I'll be having is a post-game show with Ryan Maguire also tomorrow. Also, I'm looking on bringing Ola maybe on Sunday or so if he can show up also for the show. And guys, remember, me Onome and Deji Sports on Thursday. That'll be a very very big one. Onome has choice words for Deji Sports. See ya, guys. Thank you for joining me and Ryan today, episode 20. Big ups and thank you, Onome. God bless you.
Thank you guys. See you later. Peace.